Hello and welcome, my name is Nilaus and this is the 5th tutorial in the series for Advanced Autonomous Industries. If you have not watched the previous 4 episodes, I highly recommend that you do, because we're going to build on top of what we've already built. So if you kind of miss out, then it may be harder to follow. And we're going to dive straight in. The topic of this episode or installment is actually to build one of the most complex setups that I've built to date. It's basically controlling the hauler to go directly go between the miner and the depot and a resting location if necessary. However, before we get started, there are some conditions that we must set up. For example, this one. In an earlier episode, we just hard-coded this so that it would always be here, but it can actually be done smarter using what we've done, what we built for our advanced, our attack mode, where you have some signals in a combinator and then feed them in on a loop. I built the same loop up here. Basically, this will start our mining operation. Mining operation will be number 5, the MK5 one, MK4, and MK3. So the best 3 ones. This one will be set to the first one. This one will be set to the last one. This one will be set to the number 100. So we're gonna link it in here, and then we get start doing something. We will also link it there, so it actually gets started. And then let's have a look at to see if they are operating. Are they moving? Yes, they're getting up there. Great. Now the other thing I want to highlight is this one, number 5, will very easily fill up its entire inventory. So that means the hauler, currently the hauler, if we look at it, this is the hauler, this is the unit data. This is programmed to only take 12,000. That's no good, right? That's no good. But if we use this one, I can make it take whatever I want. I mean, I can deploy it from here and say, hey, I want you to be able to take 50,000. Unfortunately, it is in a sense that if I, for example, this is also important actually. This is number 1. This is number 2. That's number 3. If I remove number 1, these change. That's both good and bad, but if you have number 1 assigned to something, then the whole thing will shift and they'll switch jobs. So for example, since I'll be using number 1, I want to make sure that there are none. There is none of them. I'll take whichever one, deploy it in here, and then we will see what it gets based on this signal. And I'll of course also give it some fuel because it's nice. Is it number 1? Yes, it is. Does it have any? It can take 50,000. Great. So that's now ready to operate. Well, let's get started to what we're building. Let's just check that they are actually working. Yes, this is starting them at the -1, the very last one. This is the first one, about here in the corner, going way too fast. And wow, was that choppy? I don't know. 40. Holy shit, that's a lot of programmable structures. Is taking a lot. And that's the key point of this mod. You have to be careful about it. You have to be really careful about it. And it's actually this one that's consuming quite a lot because it keeps sending messages out. And you could say for a miner, why do you need to spam the messages? You don't, right? You don't need to spam the messages. Anyway, we're going to start building what we need to build. This can also be more modularized, so it works on this principles of iterations. However, for the time being, let's build it like this. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to need 3 rows for this. I'm going to start here, there, and there. And then I'm going to take an input. That's just bad design, isn't it? There. Okay, so this input will be the hauler 1, because I need to know what's in it. What is it doing? Now I know what it's doing, what's the content, where it is. Great. Similarly, I need to know for the miner. We'll take this one. Go. We now know how much it has. It already has 10,000. That's crazy. You know what? And then what I need to do is for each of them, I need to change 124, 124. I'll just show what I'm doing. I'm converting there. This one, plus 1, and that is output into O as in OR. I'll do that for all of these, and then change accordingly there. And then since I use Angels mods, I need to use Angels or for this. The reason for doing this is I want a total sum no matter what it's building. What was it? Oh, it's no matter what it's harvesting. That's not correct. Protinium, rubite. I want this to be so modular that any hauler, any miner can combine. Let's build from here. Input, 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 input. From here. Let's combine outputs as well. And then I think it's actually easier if I do. I'm definitely doing a blueprint so that it copies down there. However, can't use the same. But I have to use a different indicator because I need to compare them. So all of these have to be just switched to P. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually just summarizing all of the ore content, even the part that's fuel, for every one of them. Just so that I'm sure that, okay, what's in the hauler, what's in the miner. That's what I'm going to combine. So that combines, the first one is down here. This is the most positive one. This is basically saying if P, then P is the content of the miner, is greater than, let's say, 2000 maybe? Should say 5000 since it's a big one. That's really fast. Then I'm going to output a green. Because that means this lane here, let's actually mark it. This lane is go to miner. This lane up here is go to parking. Yes, and this one on top is go to depot. Let me know what the content of each one is. I'm going to do this one first. This is the simplest one. Also the one that is actually highlighted. Okay, come on. If that's the case, if the green is greater than 0, then I'll output whatever I get in. I'm also going to do this here to make these two and here. Because it's important because as much as if this is more than 5000, then I have to turn around and say if it's less than 5000 and go to the parking. Or here, less than 5000. And the difference between these two is actually what is the ore. So if the ore on the hauler is, that's a O. If the content of this one is greater than 5000, that means there's something in it. Or there's nothing in it. So this one basically says if there's less than 5000 in the hauler, less than 5000 in, actually going to be less, 2000 is enough here. 1000 as well. So if I have less than 2000, then go to the parking. If I have more than 2000, go to the depot. Great, so let's wire it up. I'm going to flip these two around so I can actually see what's going on. There. Otherwise, I'm just going to mess it up. There. Let's see what the output is. And in order to control the outputs, I'm going to have to build some lights that control this. This one. This one will light when green is greater than 0. Got it. This one. Oops, that one will have to output a red. Because basically I'm going to say if there are 2 yellows, then move on. Here, if yellow equal to 2, that means both of these conditions, the content of the content of the hauler is greater than 2000 and the content of the miner is less than 5000. Then go to the depot. In this case, I'm going to export the input content. Go here, here, here. Nothing input, however. We'll get to that later. There. This one will light up when the yellow is equal to 2. Here's an output. That's strange. Input. Good. Okay, great. That works. I'm going to do the same here, except that I'll turn it red. And then again, I'll grab it from output, into input, and also bring it over to the lamp. Lamp will light when it's there. So now we have the conditions. The conditions are now met. What I want to do is actually, how do I want to do this? Well, let's say this is not the case. Wouldn't be the case that that one disappeared. Okay, use color. Right? So this one is basically saying, now we go to the depot. Well, what if we have sort of suddenly a ton of stuff in here? Oops, it has to be a ton of the correct stuff. Is that enough? And let's look at the content. It's also, again, use color. Right. And this is triggering because it's 4,200. Okay, good. Let's start with this one, actually. I think that's the most important, or the easiest one to get started on. Well, let's actually say, so now what? Now what indeed? I'm going to do a zone scanner because you're going to go to the depot. This is the depot. The depot is here, but I can't go to a depot. I have to go to a signal. So let's make that a dot somewhere. There, that looks to be in the middle. And I need to go one down. Damn. There. Good. And that's now a, what's it called? Olive. That color here. That one. Or teal, maybe. And that's going to be into the same. So the output is this. Now let's put it into the zone scanner, because then I get the coordinates for the zone scanner. That is exactly what I want. I will take these. I need some kind, those X and Y coordinates, they're here. X, Y. Link them in. Great, I now have the coordinates. That means this is where I should go. And I will put in the controller at this point. The controller will of course also, oops, I don't want to put it there. I actually want to put it in the middle of the entire structure. There, I think that's the most appropriate point. I'm just preparing for what it will inevitably come. And right there, I will just make exactly the same because I'm gonna get the hauler. So from this one green, there. These will be the same because they're getting the X and Y coordinates just from some other sources. And let's hook it up and see how it goes. What's going on? Oh, it's moving. It has some content. Is it going over here? Yes, but it's not unloading because this one hasn't been set to accept this much. 100,000. It is now empty. And the red one is light. Great. So let's set up the red. The red one, that's going to be the parking lot. Oh, now there's something wrong here. Oh, it is actually shifted one up. That sucks. I would have loved these to be in line, but they're not. They have to be consistent at least. This is not consistent. There. Then I suppose this will have to go. Yes, it's very important that it looks good. Otherwise I lose my overview if it doesn't look good. Good. And I'll do this one again here. Okay, now this needs to go to a parking lot. The parking lot is that one. So that's a purple circle. We're going to mark that as in here. Purple circle. There. purple circle, get into the input. That's now also the output, and that'll be put into the zone scanner. The zone scanner gets coordinates. That'll be put into here. This one is green, is lighting up. These two are not. These two are empty. These two have coordinates as output. These two do not have anything. Oh, okay. Right. And it's gone because it moved to its storage location. Empty. Awesome. Now let's actually, because all of this was because I did not select the miner. What if I select the miner now? There. Suddenly it'll be green. This one says, hey, you take anything input, anything inbound. Anything inbound, that should be the coordinates coming from position, because I'm going to send the hauler to the miner. Therefore, I do that. You can see the input and output are now the same, and it's ready to go there. Well, all I need, also check, this is empty, that's empty, that is empty. It's still saying hauler 1. And now, here we go. Let's see if it goes the right direction. And then it should now be doing the full cycle. Well, keep our fingers crossed that we build it without errors. So it's rather complicated, and that's why I'm also going to share the blueprint. Come on, inventory transfer. It is now really full. Look how it just shaves it off here. You should be going back, right? Why is it? Oh, it's because it's too fast. It's just too fast, right? Because now this one is already above 5,000 again. It is. It's about 5,000. That sucks because that's actually not a good idea. Right, I'm gonna remove this one. It's actually hard to do it with those. But now this one will be, it'll be yellow. Will it? These are empty. Empty. And these are here. And they are now moving to that location and going back. Be slowly emptied. Okay, let's try it with one of the other ones that is not as aggressive. The MK3 then. And then it goes to the green. You can see that once this is operational, it's actually a problem when I have... I didn't even consider how fast this was, because that's actually the issue. It just fills up so damn fast. This one will now go... Oh, you didn't take it. Damn it. There. I'll just put some... Give you some here. There we go. That's Mark 3. You're also running out. What are you running out as well? Yes. Going back. Let's have a look at the content. How fast is this one? It's gonna be a long while until that's at 5,000. What if I just take this and just happen to put it in here? Let's look at it. Okay, then it instantly recognizes that it must go up there again. I still have yet to find out how to operate it with multiple vehicles, in the sense that once it's full, it will go back. No matter, you can flip these around so that it dominates that once that is full, it will always go back. Right? So you can basically take this one out and then put the condition here. So you put the O condition down here, basically it's like this, saying, I'm doing live coding on this. I have no idea if this is good. I'm going to remove this one. And this one will just be when it's greater than 0. So that whenever that's full, you always go back. And this one, okay, now it's red. Yeah, good. Then time to make another one. This one will then be when this is equal to 2. And this one will be O. What's this one? This is O is less than. It doesn't matter what the O is. This is also O is less than 0. And mark it as green. The reason is that if there 2 greens, This one is big. The P should say it's... How the hell is that the case? Oh, this because this one hasn't been updated. There. Now it goes... Let's have a look at the content. That's only at 900. It's not that fast. Let's grab something from here. Oops. Go to number 3. Where's number 3? That's number 3. There's a present. That will now move up there. What if I just overfill it? I want to make sure that on its way back. See? Up. It gets bigger, right? Now. Where is it now? None of them are lighting up. And they're kissing. Oh, that sucks. Which ones are active? None. This one basically states when it's greater, then send. Oh, okay, that's simply because the output signal wasn't sent. Now they go back, even though it's much bigger. Good. I think it works. I'll do one more sample because it's important that we get this up and running. You take everything. Then it goes up there and on its way back, you can see now it's in green. Because both this is less than 2,000 and the miner is more than 5,000. Let's have a look. The miner is at 10k. So the second it gets up there, it should turn to yellow. Come on, get up there. Up it. There. It's not yellow because that wasn't reset either. Let's try one more time. This is Mark 3. Go. Did I put a lot of other junk in it? And I hope it actually hits only Mark 3. Okay, it's green. And when it hits there, I need to put in more just to make sure that on the way back, this is empty. Okay, and then it's heading back. And I fill in more, continues to go back, even though the content here. That means now it will empty, and then it'll head up north again. Yes, head up north. Once there. Okay, now we built the cycle as it should work. Okay, so this also means that if it's on its way there, bumps into something else, like, oh, right, I have enough inventory, I go back. Even though that could be like one of the other ones that it pops into. I think that this one will actually work with multiple haulers so that all the haulers will go out there. And this will even work with that one. Okay, so this is what we built. We built this massive thing. The next part would be adding sort of an iterator on top of it, so that can actually be done in order to make sure this is working consistently and always working. I mean, now it's yellow. It comes back. Oh, but this one will probably fill up too fast. Funny that you lose the inventory. The hauler is heading back to the parking lot. Great. But it'll get back there soon. The content now. The content is 2k. Okay, let's wrap it up. I hope this was useful. In order for you not to have to rebuild the whole damn thing, I am providing the blueprint in the description, so have a look at it. I'm sorry this was a bit long-winded, but it's also really important. It'll save a hell of a lot of trouble later on. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.